You heard the man, baby, gon' take a sip after this. Gonna have a hand on your back, no ventriloquist. You ain't gotta worry about a plague, nobody ill as this. This is what you get when you realize you got the drip down.
Hey guys, my name is Anthony.
I'm Steve.
I'm David.
And I'm KhaazRa. So we're talking about some of the issues, some of the things that go on. That this is not a video to teach you how to do e-com, right? So we're talking about some of the challenges that you may or may experience in e-com, right? So let's start off with, I guess, because since we're not going to be talking about tactics per se, what are some of the things that you experience in e-com that prevent you from growing and scaling your business?
Number one would just be merchant account issues. Specifically PayPal. If you're working with PayPal USA and you're shipping from overseas, so mainly China, they tend to have a problem with that. So what they'll do is they'll either put a reserve on your account, they'll hold an X amount of money for Jumpstart and then a percentage, thereafter, or they can just completely shut you down.
Right.
And just that kind of volatility, they can do that at any point. I'd say that's the number one reason preventing.
Can you give us like one concrete example? You said they'll hold your money or they ask for a lot of money up front. And like one concrete example. You can change the numbers around to protect the numbers.
Okay. I think, so a great example is, me personally, I had one account suspended a while back. This was maybe a year or so ago. I reached out to PayPal and asked them if I could continue processing on their platform. I actually had a rep call me back and gave me the green light. He said, we checked your account. It was just one instance. You are able to open.
Just one?
Just one account, yeah.
One incident?
One incident attached to one email, so one account, yeah.
Wow.
So they said, we know that you opened this account, but you're good to process with us. You're good to go, right? So fast forward a few months, we're processing maybe just under $1 million per month, right? Maybe 800, 900,000. What do? They just completely shut down our account without reason, pretty much. And then the thing is, when you call them and you ask, why did you shut down our account? Anyone who's dealt with PayPal, they probably have experiences.
Right.
They don't really give you a direct answer. They just say, according to our terms of service, we can shut you down at any time. If you would like more info, send a physical letter to our legal team. So you don't get much information, they can shut you down at any time.
Right.
That's just one example. Probably to me and Anthony, it's happened a few times.
So PayPal is PayPal, Stripe, Square, they're payment aggregators, right? Which basically, it's one huge freaking account. That's all it is, it's just one huge account. And there's a bunch of accounts up under them. It's really easy to set up because you click the button, boom, you can pretty much get your account set up.
Yeah.
But there's no underwriting, there's no research, there's really no due diligence that's done ahead of time. All that happens once you begin processing. And I'm not sure exactly who does their underwriting or how it's done on the back end. I do know that Square and Payment Tech or Chase have a relationship, even Visa a little bit. So I'm not sure how PayPal does it and why they do what they do, to be perfectly honest with you. But they are made for the high risk space, meaning not saying that you guys are high risk because everybody buys online today, so they can't be high risk.
Right.
But high risk could be things that anytime you swipe a card, anytime you key a card in over the phone or it's an internet transaction, they call that MODO basically. So that's like another term for saying high risk, but we electronic commerce, we don't consider just any account online high risk. So when they hold your funds like that, obviously, does it cause some issues with being able to buy more products and service other clients, or do you already have so much money just sitting in the bank where it doesn't affect you?
I think for us specifically, we were already at a point where it wasn't really the cash flow side.
Right.
It's just the conversion rate moving forward without PayPal. So it didn't really impact our ability to purchase more stock to ship out. It was just, let's say with PayPal, our conversion rate was 5%. So 5% of people that visit our website made a purchase. removing the ability for people to pay with PayPal on the website would, let's say, have that to 2.5%. And that causes a big impact, right? Because basically your sales are getting...
Because people don't see the PayPal logo.
Everyone wants to pay with PayPal. It's like the trust factor.
Exactly.
Okay, so you can easily create a chargeback, or they can
the trust, right? The trust that PayPal has made with their customers. They can dispute a transaction. They have that guarantee to return it or get their money back some way, right? Versus them just paying credit card, because a lot of people don't understand the process of chargebacks, right? A lot of people don't understand that, and that's why I think PayPal is a safer option for those individuals.
Gotcha. So maybe there's some education that needs to take place, because
for sure.
Like there's no one out there, including us, no one has a monopoly on being able to necessarily protect their clients. So our obligation is to you as well as to the cardholder, and that's period. That's everyone out here who's processing credit cards.
Right.
So the cardholder is always going to be protected. Maybe they just do so much marketing. Maybe people just don't know about any other option.
Right. Yeah.
That could be it too. So we do. So you'll see as well. You can still process using the PayPal logo, all the kind of good stuff that people trust directly through us without the underwriting of PayPal or Stripe. Or
that's a lot better.
Like that. Yeah. For those people who are, it's almost like people who are used to eating a certain kind of food, I guess, whether they know what's in the ingredients or not. I guess they're just used to the label.
Yeah. The attachment, right? So
So if you guys weren't like a little bit more established, and you weren't able to scale to say $500,000 or $1 million, whatever, do you think PayPal holding funds would have kind of hurt your business if you didn't have that extra reserve sitting around?
I think definitely, right? I mean, if just let's say you're someone who's a bit newer to e-commerce and you finally created a first successful store that's cash flowing positively, and you have half of you would probably have a majority of your profits within PayPal. Okay. And if they were to just say, we're going to hold all of that for 180 days, you face the immediate issue of you can't pay for orders that you're supposed to ship out to your supplier. Okay. And then also,
well, doesn't that cause more chargebacks though?
It does, yeah, because you can't ship anything out, so because your money's within PayPal, right?
It takes your business out.
Yeah, and you also can't pay yourself. For 180 days, which is a while. It's happening.
Yeah,
so
6 months or so, right?
Yeah, 6 months.
And PayPal doesn't care, right? You tell them that I need this money for this inventory, right? I need to ship it out. They're like, no, this is the rules. We're not giving you the money for 180 days. And then you just take that hit, right?
But do they never really tell you why?
They never tell you why.
Well, see, technically speaking, a customer, I don't know. Well, so customers know. Maybe they don't. I don't know. They have a certain amount of time to charge something back or to challenge it. Everyone should know, I guess. So maybe that's why do they give you your money back after 6 months? I've heard
after 6 months, yes.
For sure, you get it back.
You get it back. Maybe in some very, very strange cases, you might not get it back, depending on what kind of implications or what kind of business you were running. But generally, after 6 months, David and I, for example, had no issues with just taking the money out, right? They just released it. But for account disabling, no clear indication. They would just say, you're high risk, you're not wanted. And then me and him would try to negotiate saying, you can hold whatever amount you want. We just want to use your process. You want to hold our money for 6 months and we're allowed to keep using it, then go ahead, right? That's going to protect you on your end. And that's going to protect, we understand that kind of model that we're doing high risk if we are. And we just want to use your processor, but they don't care. They just say no and they move on.
So I guess that's, if it's easy to set up, they make it so easy to set up. I think that I can see that being a big issue by not making sure. It's almost like, you go to brick and mortar store.
Yes.
And then, once you spend all the money, for the products and, for the space, and then the landlord says, you know what, you can't do business here.
Exactly.
Because you're selling XYZ when maybe they should have asked ahead of time, exactly what are you doing, and maybe do the underwriting ahead of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, you could lose a lot of money like that, I would presume.
Well, that's the other thing that some people think is there is an aspect for PayPal where if they just hold people's money at scale, they have I don't know the numbers, how many merchants working for them, and they place a limitation on even a small percentage of that. That's just money in their bank account that they can invest with or collect interest. So
Exactly.
it benefits them to hold that money, right?
That's true. I mean, if somebody gave me a couple million or $500,000, I would do something with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, I wouldn't necessarily say I was investing. I would say I'm investing the other money that was already there.
Yeah.
But, it does free me up to kind of do some things. So, yeah, that's unfortunate as well.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys, we didn't talk about it initially. So, what do you guys, like, on average, like, how much do you guys do on a monthly basis? Just to give dropshippers some idea out there, what's possible. Maybe some people want you to dropship for them. I don't know.
So our model is a little bit different in that we don't just create 1 or 2 stores for ourselves and just
ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah. So we don't kind of create our own stores as much as we do revenue share with investors and our clients. And the reason we don't do that is because of the PayPal risk, right? So we don't want to have a scenario where we're processing a large volume and they just kind of shut us down, whack us at the knees, and then our accounts are linked together by business name, right? So everything goes down, right?
I got you.
So to avoid that, we kind of do a revenue share system where we partner with different people, mainly investors, and we open a website with each of them.
You don't want to give too much of the secrets away.
I don't want to give too much away, but so we have X amount of websites, and I think collectively right now, we're processing about 3 to 4 million per month. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for someone who, people always say, man, there's a lot of people doing this, a lot of people doing that. It's almost like you go to the grocery store. I've never seen one brand of toothpaste. I've never seen one brand of bread. I've never seen one brand of soap. I mean, people are still buying all kinds of. What kind of soap do you use? Do you even know? I don't even know what kind I use.
I'm not sure.
Right? You just buy soap, right? You buy toothpaste, right?
Yeah.
So for people out there who think that it's such a saturated thing, because more and more people are buying online now. What do you say to that?
Well, what do you think, Anthony?
I definitely think it's saturated. There's always people entering. They think that just because it's, our model at least, they think that it's easy to enter. Right? You don't have to buy inventory. You can just sell directly to the customer. People invest a couple hundred, right? They invest thousands, and then they keep going from there. And then some people don't understand the process of what goes into the business, right? You just look at a YouTube video, they think it's XYZ, you just do this, and then boom, you make millions of dollars. It's not generally not the case, right? You have to work a lot. You have to understand what makes a product very good, what the business is, and the biggest thing is financial responsibility. People don't understand that, right? They just look at revenues, right? And they're like, whoa, I'm making so much money, but they don't understand that they're investing 10,000 to make 5,000, right? And that's where the discrepancy is. But for saturation, definitely, I believe for our specific model, a lot of people are entering every single day, and a lot of people aren't making it. So,
so then it's not saturated then.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah. Well, yeah. Reverse that.
Yeah. So people are entering and exiting out at the same time.
They're not exiting per se. They're attempting to keep doing it, right? And it's growing that space where the saturation does exist, right? People are there. Necessarily, not a lot of people are doing very well, but they're making the business more complex, right?
I got you.
Right. So
I can see
that's
that.
still the thing. Yeah.
Because even in the payment processing space, you have thousands of ISOs, which stands for sales companies, but we're not an ISO. Right? We're not up under any entity where they tell us what to do for underwriting, where they tell us what to do for risk. We don't farm anything out. But I saw a guy on Instagram the other day, and he had this video, and he says, if you process with PayPal, Square, Stripe, any of these, and these things like pop out of his hand, like digitally, then I can help you. So I thought it was an interesting video. So I called the guy, I called the number. First of all, it's hard to get to the link. Finally figured out how to get to the link. Called the number. Some guy was like, he answered the phone like, hello? I was like, oh, did I call the business? He's like, oh yeah. I was like, okay, well, can you help me? And I'm hearing like pots and pans moving around in the background. I'm like, okay, so I already know this is not their main business, right? And then I called the number again, and I DM'd the guy, and I just never got a call back. So that could also cause complications in the industry where somebody else is like, you know what, I've already tried this, I've already tried that,
Right.
but it's not competition, you know. So from that perspective, to me, there's there's a lot of different industries out there, and I see a ton of different industries, but it's not a lot of competition in every industry. It's just a lot of people, a lot of noise, more say.
Yeah.
Like a ton of noise.
Yeah.
So let's say somebody, what kind of margins would you say are normal for drop shipping, e-commerce? You see like people, I've seen people on Instagram, they'll take a jet to go to breakfast, then they take a jet to go to lunch, then a jet to go to dinner. I'm like, man, these guys are making a lot of money. So, I mean, is it that kind of money where money's just falling out of your ears?
What kind of margins would you say? Because Anthony does a lot of the accounting. So
I would say between, on a higher scale, definitely not so high, right? Or maybe about 12 to 15% is generally what you're looking at. If you're doing lower and lower numbers, then 15 to 20% is more reasonable for what kind of profitability you're looking at, right?
If you're doing lower numbers, what do you mean?
Like, let's say you're doing lower spend, but you're receiving higher revenues, your profit margin is a lot higher, right?
Okay.
Versus you spending $10,000, $20,000 on ad spend and getting, let's say, $40,000, $50,000, right?
Okay.
There's a lot more incurred costs that comes with that, right? Merchant fees, just a lot of hidden costs people aren't aware of, and that's why your profitability takes a hit on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say is probably the biggest challenge that you guys have? Is it the profitability, or is it just being able to grow and scale? What's the biggest challenge? The number one challenge that you think you guys have? Well, first of all, let me ask you this: what is your goal in the next, say, 6 months to a year?
I think the dropshipping model in general, we have a lot of mutual friends that do Amazon. It's a little bit different. They're building towards a brand where they have an exit. Dropshipping model is just for immediate cash flow. So I think our goals for the next half to 1 year is just to increase our bottom line profit numbers each one, right?
Okay.
So we're at a certain level now. We want to, or I know we can, like double, triple that pretty easily just by taking on more clients or making more websites, whatever the case is. That's our goal. What was the other question? Like, what's the biggest challenge?
What's the number one challenge? So you say you just want to take on more clients. Like, there's no like dollar amount you want to get to. It's just like you don't want a jet. A lot of people say they want jets. And
Oh, in terms of actual numbers? Yeah, like I think in terms of actual numbers, I'd be really happy if we could just reach like $1 million profit per month, right?
So to get to $1 million profit per month, what kind of revenue you got to hit for that?
Per month?
Yeah.
Probably looking at
8 figures.
10 to 12 million revenue per month.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around that.
Okay.
Which is possible. It's actually.
Yeah.
I mean, we know other people in Toronto who are doing 20 million plus per month.
Okay.
So we can get there, but it's just
The hurdle right now is processor.
Gotcha.
we need to bring on more people too and just build the
Yes,
infrastructure to do that.
Okay.
Bigger team.
Yeah. In terms of the biggest challenge, it was.
Hold on, man.
Yeah.
So the teams of people who were, that did they kind of like guide you? Is that why you know it's done? Did you see the numbers? Like, is that what they told you we're doing?
Like we have these not really masterminds, but just kind of e-commerce meetups, specifically in Toronto. One of the people or the group of people that normally attend, we visited them. They have an office, they have a warehouse. They're pretty transparent with the numbers they do.
Okay.
And I know last year they did about just under 225 million, I think it was.
Okay.
So they're averaging about
Revenue?
Just revenue.
Okay.
Yes.
So they're averaging just under 20 million per month, right? So
Okay.
it's attainable, but they have
You think they keep a couple million from that?
For sure. But their margins are definitely not
yeah.
a lot lower, right?
tens of millions, maybe like 10, 50 million per year.
That's still pretty good freaking profit.
Yeah, that is.
Some-
It's amazing.
Some NBA players don't make that until 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And taxes and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So is that? Do you sort of shadow them, or do you guys just came together and was like, you know what, maybe we're gonna put our minds together. You do this, you do this, you do this, and we're gonna make it happen. Or
We don't shadow. Like I think they're a pretty close group, and also I think that we can kind of get there ourselves. Like we know the steps it takes to get there.
Okay.
It's just it's like a time thing, right?
Okay.
So we're on year 1.5, maybe almost approaching 2. When they were on year 2, they were doing maybe a couple million in sales. So we're on the trajectory to kind of to get there.
Oh, okay.
It's just a matter of time. That's what my personal
Right.
opinion is.
So you think it's like a momentum, skill level?
Momentum, skill level, and just bringing on more staff, like building a bigger team.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So like right now we're like in your lab here now.
Yeah.
So you're gonna fill it up with more people?
I think we definitely need more virtual employees, so from the Philippines, remote workers. And then I think half a year to a year we want to get an office and hire people, on location.
So because a lot of people think entrepreneurship is about, now I can just work from, the beach, or, while I'm swimming, I just look at my iPhone, my waterproof phone, and, make a couple $1,000,000. So if you guys get an office, does that mean then that you are going into the corporate America, kind of? That's what we call it back home. We're in Toronto now.
Right.
So I don't know what they call it here, corporate Toronto, corporate Canada.
Yeah, corporate.
So is that what you guys are be doing, going, becoming more corporate? And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but hey, if it's skill, you do need, staff, all those things that come with it.
I think there's definitely perks to e-commerce where you do have more freedom than the average,
Employee,
white collar person. But I think if you want to attain a certain level or grow to a certain scale, you kind of need systems and the infrastructure in place that you have to follow to get to that scale.
Okay.
I mean, I can't imagine anyone who wants to make 7-8 figures per year has the freedom to kind of fly around everywhere and not work, not be tied down, just go to Indonesia, Bali, whatever, right?
Right.
You can't have both.
Right.
So I think personally, or as a group, we're leaning more towards the kind of stay in Toronto. Like we do travel, but not as much as some other people we know in the industry.
I mean, so you don't take a jet to breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the same day?
Not too much, not yet. Yeah, not yet. But so I think we're more like, Toronto's a nice place.
Right. So you guys are really truly trying to
here.
scale like an actual, you're building a business. This is not like a hobby or an Instagram or social media thing. This is an actual business.
Yeah.
I think it's both. More towards business, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you like the lifestyle, you like the freedom. You don't have to get up and go to an office. At least not right now.
Yeah. But we are putting in work, right? It's not like, hey, we can take off 5 days. I mean, we have the ability to, but we will impact. We will feel the impact of net loss, right, of the day.
Okay.
So we do put in the hours. I think we work more than the normal 9 to 5 job.
Oh, you think so?
Yes. 100%.
Really?
Yes. We put in the effort for that. It's just that we can work around our schedule, right?
Gotcha.
We can work between this hour, and then go do something.
You can just work. You work longer, but you work longer for yourself.
Yes, for sure. Right.
So how many hours a week would you say you guys work?
It's hard.
42.
Okay, so
6 times 7.
2 more hours.
Yeah. No lunch breaks.
Yeah,
No official lunch breaks.
we're not counting that's just the base number pretty much, right?
Okay.
But it's a lot, I think it's a little higher, depending if you really count each minute and stuff like that.
I got you.
But definitely, we're putting in a lot more effort, right? Because we're doing this for our business. We're not working for somebody else, where someone is just gonna lose productivity after an hour, right? Right. Efficiency definitely decreases when you're working for somebody else, right? Because you're not really building anything for yourself at that point, right? You're just doing what you're told. You're doing ABC, and then that's it, right? For us, we scale depending on how many hours you put in, how far we're going. So that's why for us that we have to put that extra hour in, right, every day.
Okay, gotcha.
But we were thinking about the thing. I think you were telling me on the car ride back yesterday. The 90-minute thing, and then you take a break.
Oh, okay.
And then you kind of. I was thinking we would do 90 break, 90 again.
Okay.
So we're definitely gonna try that.
Okay.
Seems really interesting.
Yeah, it helps keep me productive.
Yeah.
I actually when I'm going to this program, one of the coach I have, Mr. Sharma, that's his name. And he has this thing called the 5 a.m. club, which may be like the 12 a.m. club for you guys.
Yeah.
And first thing that he suggests. Now, what I do now is first thing I do is I get up and I get right to my task. But what he suggests, which is I think is a little bit better for your overall life, is to exercise until you sweat the first 20 minutes of the day. So yeah, that's it. Whether it be push-ups, I mean, you guys have a facility, you can just go upstairs and ride the bike or whatever.
Yeah.
Intense sweat. He says because it produces like serotonin and dopamine, all those really feel-good hormones that just makes you feel real good throughout the day. And then the next 20 minutes, he suggests maybe journaling, for a few minutes, and or you can create your schedule for the day as well. Like, what are you gonna do the first 90 minutes, then the 60 minutes, you kind of write all that out, or maybe the night before. And then the next 20 minutes, you are going to read. Right, so that's your hour. He calls it the 20-20-20 formula. That's your hour.
Okay.
And then you actually have another, if you had family or something like that, you almost have, like, let's say if you get up at 5, you have another 2 hours, maybe you read some more, maybe you cook breakfast and, whatever. You don't have to use it the entire 3 hours. And then he starts from 8 to like 9:30. That's he calls it the 90-10 method. 90 minutes of intense focus. Like intense, put your cell phones away, all that kind of stuff. Then take a 10-minute break. A 10-minute break could be a walk in the park. It could be, I forgot to say, on the 20-20-20, that second 20 minutes you can meditate and do something like that as well.
Okay.
Tai Chi, yoga, whatever. And then for 60 minutes, you get on the next task. Just intense focus. And then 10-minute break. Then another 60 minutes. 10-minute break, and then another. I don't know how many 60s you can get in between that 8 from 8 to, so like maybe like 5 hours of actual working, right? And then the rest of the day is just like maybe for a couple hours you check your email, doing miscellaneous stuff. And the reason he says do this is because he says if you think about all those people who created like masterpieces, he says, it's because they had intense focus, like the Picassos.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, and this is just a movie, but Tom Cruise played in a movie. It's called Samurai, I think. You guys see that?
No.
Okay, you guys probably never seen that.
Maybe Mission Impossible, but I think it's
So, you ever heard of? So basically, the movie Samurai was about, I guess, like the whatever forces were trying to fight against the Japanese warriors who only used swords at the time.
right.
And so Tom Cruise ended up getting captured. So they didn't kill him, they just kind of made him hang around, and he ended up learning the culture to the point where he actually joined their side. But the whole movie was about how the samurai, and I think how the samurai and the people, the whole culture was really about intense focus. That's what I got out of it. Like super intense focus. If they were painting, they were painting. There was no checking text.
Yeah.
There was no Instagram. They were painting. If they were practicing their art, they were practicing the art, and that's it. If they were cooking, they were cooking. And so, if you think about Picasso, you heard of Picasso.
Yes.
They were doing the drawings. It was just the drawing, right? Super intense focus. So this is where he's getting the concept from. Even if you think about, even though unfortunately the Raptors lost tonight, right? But when a player is in the zone, do you think they're thinking about anything else? It's pretty much just intense focus.
Yep.
But even though you can be in a zone for a certain period of time, how long can you be in that zone? Any water over there? Let's talk about water. The water.
Fridge.
Oh, here's one.
Yeah.
Got one. Is this good?
Yeah, they're all good.
So that's where he comes from with that particular program. But I've tried it before, and it does work pretty well.
Okay.
So you said the other thing that you have, the biggest challenge is the processing side.
One of the biggest challenges. Yeah.
Besides, because in order to grow, the processing side that would be the only thing.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It ties in very closely.
So your why is way beyond just money. It's really to get to a certain point. First of all, to build a brick and mortar business where you have this office space
Yes.
that allows you to scale even more.
Yes.
And then when you get to a certain point, you'll be able, not necessarily just buying watches and cars and stuff like that, even though you would like some of those things.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
But you would also like to be able to now, I guess, reach back and help other people in whatever way you can.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's teaching them how to do this, or is it just teaching them how to do whatever they, are you gonna be like an angel investor? Like,
I'm not really 100% sure about that. I think during that point in time, I will have to reflect and see what kind of direction I want. But I think it would be more of a mentorship kind of thing where someone comes to me asking for advice, I would provide that for them, work one-on-one, and then help them try to scale to a certain extent, I think.
Now, for a fee, because you know some people don't appreciate free information, would you be doing this as just like, hey, whoever wants help, I'll help them, or would you be more like on a consulting basis?
I think maybe at the start it would be first come first serve, like maybe free. But obviously once you start getting bigger and bigger, you can't offer that anymore, right? It's like everybody's gonna be coming after you, and then you can't give your time to every single individual, right? I think at that specific time, you're gonna have to say, if you want my time, I need to charge it for something, and then I'll be willing to give it to them, right? But if 1,000 people come at me and they're not gonna give me anything, and then one individual is willing to give me $1,000, I'm gonna give my time to the person who's giving me $1,000, right? Even though I do want to help everybody, I can't, right? So
makes sense. No, there's not too many free NBA games that you can go to, right? They
Exactly.
got plenty of money, right?
yes.
All right, Steve, you have some time to think about it.
I guess it's like you have more freedom,
Okay.
and it's better than like going to like 9 to 5, where it's like you put so much effort in, you don't really get like a good payout.
Mm-hmm.
But in e-com, if you like put your heart into it, you get a good payout. So.
Okay, so your why is for more freedom.
Yeah.
You want more life.
More life, more time.
Okay. You have any specific thing that you like to do? You want to travel the world, or you want to, just maybe just wake up at whenever you want to wake up?
I haven't really thought about that, but just like
know you want freedom.
Pretty simple.
Whenever you want to work more, you want to chill more, whatever. You just want more control of your time.
Yeah, more control.
All right. How about you, Dave?
I think I really like the mastery aspect of anything. So whether it's a sport, even video games in the past when I was a bit younger, just getting really good at something is really fulfilling to me. So getting really good at e-commerce and learning how to build a business.
Okay.
I think those are two skills where if you really focus on those and you get very good at them, it's very rewarding, financially, and you get to make connections with very interesting different people, and I find that's really, really fulfilling.
Gotcha. So 10,000 hours of mastery. That's what they say.
I heard that. Yeah. 10,000 hours. Yeah.
I don't know who's ever actually counted, but so mastery. That's your thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Mastery, freedom, and getting to a point where you can just help other people.
I think I saw one video on YouTube recently where someone was saying that, how some people say like it's good to be well-rounded.
Yeah.
And they're basically saying how that's completely not true, right? You want to be good at specialize. Yeah. You want to specialize. If you're well-rounded, it's not very rewarding in any way, right? So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
So now you went to college, right?
Yes.
And did you go finish it, or did you say the hell with it and dropped out?
I finished college. I went to university. Technically, I'm still enrolled in university.
Really?
Part-time. But I'm probably going to cancel that soon.
Okay. So you actually in school right now?
Like my status right now is a part-time student.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not actually attending classes, right? So
okay.
I was 2 years into university before I started this. Yeah.
So you're dropping out?
Yes.
You too, Steve, or you never even took that route?
I finished university, so.
You finished college already?
Yeah.
Wow, you went to university here too?
Yeah.
Which one did you go to?
University of Guelph.
Of Royal?
Guelph.
What's it called?
Guelph.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's near Waterloo. It's near Waterloo.
It's near Waterloo.
It's like
Yeah.
kind of
Oh, wireless. Okay. What did you? What were you going to school for?
what's it called? Business administration.
He's like, what's that one called?
Yeah, I forget.
How about you?
Computer science.
Computer science. This is not computer science, though, is it?
Yeah, no.
No. So
like-
programming, right?
Programming, yeah.
What do they teach now? C. I don't know what.
They teach like a bunch of languages, C,
Okay.
Java.
Just okay. So teaching that. So you didn't like that too much?
Well, e-com is better, so.
Why is it? The money's better or more interesting?
Just like this is more freedom. It's just like
Okay.
it's more interesting as well.
Okay.
Personally, I find it more interesting.
You too?
For school,
Yeah.
I went to Simcoe, yes.
What-
For accounting.
And you went all the way through?
Oh, no,
Man, that's a pretty grueling major there. Accounting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use it now?
Yeah, I use it. Tax for taxes. It's super helpful for tax. But for accounting base, it's really more for corporations, right? You're working under them. You're dealing with clients one-on-one. You don't really learn the aspects of business as a whole, right? So if you take accountancy and then you run a business, you're gonna understand some aspects of how to do like profit loss statements, revenue. You're gonna understand that kind of aspect, but in the whole foundation of business itself, from the bottom up, you won't understand that, right? I think that is something that you're gonna have to self-absorb, right? You're gonna have to just get dirty, right? And then just build and understand, and then fail, and then go get up from there, right?
Wow. So you're using your degree, and you kind of using your degree. It's not no, a little bit.
Not really.
Not really. Okay. So is school necessary to do what you're doing? Not just dropshipping, because I don't look at it as just dropshipping. I look at it as building a business. Was the school necessary, or did it help? No.
I don't think school is necessary for you to start entrepreneurship or have a business or get into the business space, right? I think school is just something that's going to prepare you more analytically, right? How your thinking is going to process. But it doesn't mean that someone who doesn't go to high school or university isn't able to achieve something, right? There's a lot of successful people who haven't attained any of those, right? And they're way wealthier than a lot of people, like 80% of the world, right? So I think for that, it really takes a really special individual to get to that kind of status, right? It's someone who's not gonna just listen to the people around them, right? You have to go to school, you have to do this, you have to do X, Y, Z all the time.
Right.
I think it's gonna be those individuals who are gonna say, no, I don't have to listen to you. I think those are the special individuals who are gonna be able to do something, right?
You know, one thing I see is that you're right. I mean, if you have hustle, grit, and all that other kind of stuff, you can actually do it. But I do see a lot of people who maybe they didn't have the analytical training, and they start things,
Right, yeah.
and it's sloppy. They don't have this, they don't have that. Maybe they don't even understand how to manage money. Just do different things that I'm not made for accounting. That's just not something I can do well. Now I took accounting in college. I remember it, but do I want to do it? No, I probably would be way better hiring somebody else or working with somebody else who specializes in that. So I can, I'm not pro or anti-school per se. I have a degree. I'm not saying that you have to have a degree as well.
Yeah.
But I think and I know people who don't have a degree who do things well, but man, they make so many mistakes to get to where they are.
Yeah.
Like a ton of mistakes. Yeah. Maybe school could have prepared them. I don't know. I don't know how it works here in Canada, but in America, you buy a book for $400 or $500. Before the semester is up, it's only worth $2.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, really?
Same thing.
So I don't know if there's information, I don't know. Like, you buy a car, it depreciates. Does that happen?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's in the books, right? Because they update a new version, you have to go pay the extra $1 now, right?
Okay.
Other one's obsolete, so.
So if you have, I like what you guys are doing. So if you want to start a business, you can learn everything yourself on your own, which is almost impossible. Or you can get with a team and build a team, which I think is better. Yeah. One person can specialize in this, and whatever you weak, you just keep studying and becoming better. Yeah. You definitely can't get a degree in Facebook ads, for sure.
For sure.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And then, accounting, maybe you get some specialized training, but you're always improving your accounting knowledge anyway,
for sure,
right?
100%.
Okay.
Even with Facebook or just dropshipping in general, people should understand that because you start a business, you shouldn't expect to get profitability within a day or a month or two. It's gonna take years, right?
Right.
When David and I started, or when David started, or I started a store by ourselves, right? We weren't successful right away. We lost a couple $1,000s every single day, right?
Oh wow.
It's until we understood the system and we got more in depth about, okay, why are we losing money, right? Why are these individuals doing these numbers and why are we losing these numbers, right?
Mhm.
It's until we understood that is when we started becoming profitable. So
How long were you losing money?
for me, I lost for like 3-4 months.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on. You had like somebody just giving you money, or you would make it and then lose it, make it, lose it, like
So-
break even every day.
I was working a corporate job at the time, so that kind of sustained. But going into a corporate job to just work for the day, knowing that I just lost all that money, it didn't feel really good, right? But that was the only way I was able to sustain. But just because I was working a 9-to-5 job didn't mean I didn't have time to do this business, right? I was doing
Okay.
them side by side.
Man, while you were at work, working on the drop shipping, or when you came home, both of the
It
both?
was like kind of both.
Okay.
Definitely when you work 9 to 5, you have no obligations at the end of the day, right?
Right.
You have that free time. So I committed that to business. But
Okay. So instead of partying and having fun,
Exactly,
whatever,
yes.
you're just working.
that's the same thing with university too. If people are going to university, a lot of people aren't spending 24 hours studying all the time, right? You see a lot of people going to parties, drinking, going out, right? And those are the individuals that are generally complaining about not having enough time, right?
Mhm.
And they should be using it more wisely, in my opinion. And then that's where business is generally going to be started.
Mm.
So I think it's really how you use your time management skills.
Okay. Electronic commerce would be successful if they are able to allow the business to scale,
Yes.
right?
100%.
And then provide much quicker returns on money, meaning, next day funding, whatever you guys set up, they have next
Access to
day
cash
funding,
flow. Yeah.
Access to cash flow. And what was the third thing? Or
There was a PayPal aspect where
you can process through EC with the Wonder Bread logo. No.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
But people feel comfortable, like the household name, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So with the people who you said were out here doing, like, I think what you said, they were doing $200 million a year.
Yeah.
Do they use that logo as well? Is that what makes?
They're best friends with PayPal.
Oh, really?
They got in at a time where yeah, they're very close. They got in at a time where not too many people were dropshipping in general, so they got in very early. So instead of nowadays where people are getting dropshipping, PayPal knows about it, they say it's a high risk model, we don't want anything to do with this. They got in at a time where PayPal looked at it and said, whoa, these guys are doing huge numbers.
Let's
We
try
want to
it.
work with them.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're like one of them.
Well, let me ask you this: so if a company, because to me, from a financial aspect, I don't know what their numbers are, but how many transactions per month would you say they're doing?
Well, that's hard.
Well, let's say in your example, what's a good month for number of transactions?
So basically orders, right? So
Well, what would be a good month for you guys? What would you say that was a good month? If you had
in terms of number of transactions.
100,000 plus.
100,000, okay.
Transactions, yeah.
Okay. So if you were Stripe, it's 30 cents a transaction.
Yep.
What's PayPal? I know. What's PayPal? 30 cents?
It comes down to about 3.5 to 4%.
No. Cents. Like
Cents on transaction.
like that's the rate. The
Yeah.
transaction is like 30 cents or something.
It should be.
Yeah, it should be around
should
there,
around
yeah.
So let's say if somebody has because to me I never understood why would someone want to pay that. So if you have 100,000 transactions, times 30 cents alone.
And people don't even know that exists, right?
Say it again?
They don't understand that when they're processing, they're eating a fee. Like PayPal is taking a fee from that.
Right.
People don't understand that. They just see like the hard number. Oh, I sold it for $20. That's what I got, right?
Yeah, they don't. So if you do 100,000 transactions alone, that's 30,000.
It hurts.
Yeah.
30,000.
Yeah.
That does not. You said what would you say the rate? You said the rate was 3 or 4%, right? So
Yeah,
3%.
3%.
Yeah, with also the percentage.
So now you do 100K
It's like
times, let's just say 3.5. I don't know. Let's just
Yeah.
make it,
3,500, right?
because it depends on what card they use.
Mm-hmm.
I did that wrong. 100,000. You probably,
So
would you say? Because you probably good with math like that.
3,500.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So basically, that's a $40,000 per month gain. Now, if they're doing 200 million, they got to be doing freaking 300,000 transactions a month, maybe even more.
They're doing a lot more, yeah. But I'm pretty sure because they have that close relationship with PayPal, they're not eating that many fees. They probably have some sort of deal, right? Because
man, even Walmart doesn't get the sweetest deal.
oh, okay, then I'm not sure.
Because remember, it's not really PayPal. It's Visa, MasterCard.
Yeah, okay.
You know, their fees are their fees.
Mhm.
That's true.
Right. There's a base that you can go by. So, I mean, even if they were paying 25 cents, I think that would be freaking substantial.
You save a lot of money. Any cents at that kind of that rate,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna save a lot of money.
Let's say $200,000 times, just say 25 cents a transaction. That's 50K.
Yeah.
50K
Wow.
times 12, that's 600K. It's not even including the rate.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's
Yeah, so, you know, sometimes when I hear about different people processing and how much they make, and I think about man, because those are high risk models, you know, PayPal, Square, Stripe. Like, why would people even want to do that? Like, why? Especially if you have a business that's all about volume, you know, and number of transactions. To me, we just kind of hurt the bottom line.
Yeah.
For me. Have you guys ever looked at that? Like, man, you know, we paid, you know, 40K.
Yeah, me and him look at it every single month. And we really can't control that number, right? There's nothing we can do unless they're able to offer us a discount or something, but it's out of control. There's nothing we can do unless we're able to sell it
Much.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this: how about so is that plus the holding of funds?
The rates are kind of.
I'm saying, but so let's just say you pay 40K plus they'll hold your funds sometimes as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, so that could be so then maybe you could be working with another 40% or 20% of funds that they're holding. Like, what's the average you think they're holding?
15, 20 I think is fair.
So if you have 15, 20, you do 40K, so you're probably looking at now maybe bringing home about 30, 40% to work with.
Yeah, it's very tight.
It could be tight. It can be tight.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important probably to scale and do more and more numbers. So I don't know how a small guy doing 30, 40, 50K stay in business then.
It's hard. I think there's a lot of people like that just shutting down the websites, going out of business.
Yeah.
Okay.
High fees, reserves, and then on top of the percentage they take, they also take what's called a jump start, right? So they'll just look at your account. Let's say you have $100,000 in there. They'll say, as a jump start, we're going to hold 50,000 out of the 100,000, and any transactions after that, we're going to hold 25%.
Oh,
so there's also the jump start,
too,
which is even worse, right? Like that's
man.
Yeah.
So did you guys have to start off with a lot of money to get your thing going? How did you survive like that then?
Dave and I invested our own money into this business.
Yeah.
So I was working corporate, so I pretty much took everything in my salary job, put it all in there.
Every check?
Everything.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my bankroll was zero.
Get out of here.
No lying.
Man,
because of PayPal reserves and
right.
Yeah, no choice.
Yeah.
Right. I really had no option. I had to.
So a lot of people really don't understand the sacrifice of actually running a business. They think it's the internet, so I can just build a website and have somebody in another country send the product and I just get paid. It's not like that.
There's a lot more complexities. And the other thing that I had to do was, because I'm getting Canadian dollars now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to take a hit on conversions.
Oh yes.
And then convert that and then send that, right? So I took a hit every single time, right? So that was an added cost. And there's no way around that either.
Yeah. And you still want to stay here?
Yep.
In Canada?
Oh, that's what you mean.
I think it's too hard to move anywhere else. Visas, stuff like that.
Oh, really?
And then
maybe a few years out of the line.
Yeah, maybe a few years out of the line, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had any one piece of advice to give someone out there, what would it be?
Learn from your failures, definitely. Don't let your failure be your end point.
Mm-hmm.
Use your failure as your start point and then go from there.
Okay. You all mock that or you mimic that? Or?
No, that's good.
That's
really good. Yeah, that's really good.
You do all those audiobooks, man. You gotta give me something, man.
So something that I picked up recently. It wasn't from audiobook. It's from do you know the book Principles, like Ray Dalio?
Yeah, I got.
So
I didn't read the whole thing though.
Yeah, it's an extensive read, right?
Yeah.
But one of the things he says that I really like is when you look at a part of your business that you have to be real with yourself. Like, am I good at this one aspect, or am I not good? If you're not good, you really have to weigh like, how long will it take me to get good at this specific element, or is it worth it for me to just hire someone to do this, right? You always have to like make that decision over and over across various aspects of your business. And more often than not, it's worth it to just bring on someone who is an expert in whatever field to do that stuff yourself.
Gotcha.
So
That makes sense.
that's something that I think we use a lot, and just building a business is super useful. Super
All
useful.
right.
To say.
Steve, thanks, Dave.
I can't really think of anything.
You gotta have one thing, man. You know, you went through school, all that programming, man, all that freaking analytical training, and you want freedom. You want freedom, right?
Don't party too much.
Don't party too much.
It's a good one.
Right? You partied too much in college?
No, not at all.
Oh, not at all?
No.
Man, no parties.
No, not
Never went out.
Never went out.
Yeah, it's insane.
School,
Yeah,
studying, focusing. Just like
Yeah, he's just super focused. Like, his work ethic is.
super high.
I've never seen anyone with better work ethic.
That's the only reason he's here, to be honest, right? So it's because I witnessed that work ethic that he's able to do this, right?
Yeah.
Because we were looking for a third person,
Mm-hmm.
and David and I didn't know who really to go to,
Yeah.
right? So I recommended him because of his work ethic, right? He never went out, he never partied, right? Like, he's a total opposite from me, right? I was the one going out.
You went out party.
Yeah, maybe second, third year, my eyes started opening. Like, this is not worth it. It's a waste of time, kind of thing. But yeah, he didn't do any of that, right? So
Man, okay.
it's just really crazy that he was able to do that for 4 years without actually
Just total.
without giving up, right? It's like
Yeah, delayed gratification, big time.
exactly,
Right?
yeah.
Okay. Man, still to this day, never went out party.
We go out now because we have that freedom. And
Okay.
He's able, and then he's I guess he's not more stuck in a thing where he has to complete it by X schedule, right? I mean, he has David and I to help him through it,
Okay.
so he's not really more in that stress environment. So I
Okay.
guess so he has more freedom, I guess.
Man, that is pretty. That's interesting, man. I can't say that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, like out of my whole life, I would never be able to do that.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Takes a special individual to do that, right?
Absolutely, man. Just consistent delayed gratification. That could be pretty tough. You know, there was a study though done, and they put some children out, and they gave them the option of candy or waiting, and I forget what they got if they waited. I forget. And then they followed these people 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and the children who delayed, who waited and didn't eat the candy right away, they said in every area of life they were more successful.
Wow.
So,
Well, yeah.
I probably would have taken the handy. Yeah, not gonna lie. I probably would.
Yeah.
Because it's something that's there and it's tangible, right? You would want to grab it, right? Especially if you see other people grab it, you're like, might as well, right? So,
Yep. So the moral of the story, I haven't even been looking at the camera the whole time. I forgot to do that.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
Right?
Yeah.
But the moral of the story is, from what I'm saying here is like, everybody has a specialization, and instead of trying to do everything on your own, it's more than likely a lot better to come together as a unit.
Yes.
You're so much more effective, so much more powerful. You can grow quicker, and also share some of the risk and some of the
100%.
expenses and things like that as well, right?
You can only do so much by yourself, right?
Yeah, I mean, even I was a sales guy just initially myself, and then I picked my business partner, and so that's two people as opposed to just one person.
Yeah.
And then brought in one other person and another person and another person, and then boom, now we have this big team.
Yeah.
And even I don't do everything at all.
Right, 100%.
I'm here out here with you guys, so obviously I can't be running.
Right.
Back on the computer. I'm sitting right here. So there's other people out there who specialize. Then we got an operations guy who he's just like a freaking numbers operations guy, not an accountant, but an operations guy. We've got another guy who's just a freaking beast at risk. This guy knows everything out there, attends all the meetings with Visa, MasterCard, all that stuff. Then we got another person who's just an underwriter. That's all she does is underwriting.
Right.
We have another guy who's operations advisor. being able to put all the pieces together, right?
Yes.
To work with the salespeople, work with this, you know, he can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Then we have the tech support. All they do is tech support. They're horrible at customer service, right? Horrible. And then you have the customer service people who hate technology,
Yeah.
right? And then you have the people who do over the phone sales, right?
Right.
You know, then you have somebody like me maybe where I understand all those different things.
Right,
yeah.
And then we have an accountant. I forgot that we have an accountant, we have a finance person.
Yeah.
You know, we got another person. We got some people that do different things. And a personality like mine, I'm not as disciplined, right? So I can't just delay for a long time. Definitely believe in what you were saying as well.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, finding someone who may be a specialist at it.
Yeah.
And then also helping people. You know, that's kind of like my little blend. I love resolving problems, whether it be the kind of problem that you're experiencing now.
Right.
Right? And that's why I'm consistently talking to you, because I can really hear, like the more you talk, I can hear, okay, this is the issues that they're really having. This is what they really want to do. And sometimes people don't necessarily know how to express that directly. They may say, like you say, you know what, this is our one issue. Can you do that? Which I can do.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's like something underlying underneath. And if I listen long enough, you know, I'll figure it out.
Right.
And I say, hey, let's see if we can add this extra piece to do X, Y, Z or something like that. Because there's all kinds of new software tools and stuff out there now.
Right.
So that's the name of the game. Remember, with e-com, dropshipping, e-commerce, I don't know what other names they use out there nowadays. Any other names they use out there? Building a business.
Drop surfing.
Dropshipping.
Might not be.
Building a business requires way more than the flick of a switch,
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
right?
100%.
Hard work, dedication,
Patience.
patience, skills. I'm assuming some trial and error. You said
100%. Yeah.
don't let your failures be your endpoint.
For
Right?
sure.
A lot of listening, stuff like that. So,
Yep.
well, thanks
Yeah.
guys.
Thanks,
Thanks a lot,
guys.
Kaz.
Been a pleasure.